What happened when your husband tried to control you? My husband Kyle started limiting where I could go 3 weeks ago. First, it was small things. He asked me not to have coffee with my coworker Rachel anymore, said she gave him weird vibes. Then he didn't want me eating lunch at the cafe near my office anymore. When I asked why, he got defensive and said he just preferred I ate at home. By the second week, he was calling me multiple times during my workday, asking where I was and what I was doing. He'd show up at my office at random times, claiming he was just in the neighborhood. My coworkers started noticing and making jokes about him being clingy, but it felt like more than that. It felt like surveillance. The third week, things escalated. Kyle insisted on driving me to work every morning and picking me up every evening. He wouldn't let me take my own car. When I protested, he said gas was expensive and we should carpool, but he worked in the opposite direction. It made no sense. At home, he started following me from room to room. If I went to the bathroom, he'd be waiting outside when I came out. If I went to the kitchen for water, he'd appear within seconds asking if I needed anything. Then I noticed the notebook. Kyle had always been organized, but this was different. He was writing down times and dates obsessively. I caught glimpses of it on the kitchen counter. Numbers, timestamps, my schedule written out in detail. When I asked about it, he closed it immediately and said it was work stuff. But I'd seen my name at the top of the page. He started asking me strange questions. How did I feel when I woke up? Did I have any headaches? Was I dizzy at all? At first I thought he was being caring, but the questions got more specific. He'd shine his phone flashlight in my eyes and watch how my pupils reacted. He'd time how long it took me to respond to simple questions. One night I woke up at 2 a.m. and found him standing next to the bed, just watching me sleep. When I screamed, he said he'd heard a noise and was checking on me. But there was something in his expression that made my skin crawl. I started documenting everything he did, writing down the controlling behaviors, the strange questions, the constant monitoring. I looked up signs of emotional abuse online, and Kyle's behavior matched almost perfectly. Isolation, control, surveillance, gaslighting. I called my sister Emma and told her I was planning to leave. She said I could stay with her as long as I needed. I started packing a bag in secret, hiding clothes and important documents in the back of my closet. Kyle must have sensed something changing because he got worse. He installed new locks on all the doors and kept the keys with him. He told his boss he needed to work from home so he could be with me all day. He wouldn't let me out of his sight for more than 5 minutes. I was planning to leave on Friday when he had a doctor's appointment, but Thursday night I found his notebook. He'd left it on the bathroom counter, open to a page dated 3 weeks ago. The first entry said, Rachel gave Jess something at coffee. Jess felt sick an hour later. Happened again at lunch cafe. The entries continued, detailed observations of my symptoms after specific meals and specific places, times, locations, how I felt afterward. He'd been tracking a pattern. My hands shook as I read further. Tested Jess's water bottle from work. Contains small amounts of antifreeze. Someone is poisoning her. Can't tell her yet. She'll panic and confront the person. Need to catch them in the act. Have been diluting everything she drinks at home. Monitoring symptoms. The most recent entry was from this morning. Jess's kidney function improving now that she's not eating at work or seeing Rachel. But Rachel texted today asking to meet for lunch. I heard the front door unlock. Kyle's voice called out asking if I was home. I stood frozen, holding the notebook, realizing everything I'd thought was control had actually been protection. And that's when I heard Rachel's voice in the hallway talking to Kyle. The rest of the story is on my channel or linked below.